Steadicam on. Yeah, the thing that makes the night videos look fucked up is because I forget and I leave the Steadicam on, and when there's not enough light coming in, it affects the shit. Like it won't it makes it jump up and down and vibrate and stuff when there's not enough light coming in. That's why they look like shit at night. I gotta remember to turn off. At any rate though, wanted to do a metaphysical ignorant roundup, because I don't know what I was able to get in last week as far as footage. So I've been self-censoring. Self-censoring? Yeah. I've been self-censoring and self-censoring pretty hard because, you know, I'm once again not in a good space with YouTube. But the answer was right in front of me the whole time. Upload the other shit on the second channel, because the second channel doesn't have anything, no strikes, no anything. It's clean. So that's what I'm going to do. Well, alright, I guess we fucking sorted that out. I want to go with some more metaphysical weird stuff that's happened to me lately. Because I don't know, like, what I already explained. Not sure what has gotten out. But one of the things was last week, like the beginning of last week, I had this thing happen where I was out walking around just doing regular errands and stuff, and when I started coming home, my vision wasn't getting blurry, it was just getting weird on the peripherals, like not just the sides, but a little bit underneath and a little bit above peripheral, up and down. And what it was like these waves, like rainbow waves. Oh, they weren't like a rainbow, it was like all colors at once. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? You know, it does. I don't know what was happening to me. I maybe thought I was having some kind of medical fucking problem. And when I got home, it was getting bigger. The peripherals were getting bigger, and my clear vision was getting smaller. Not like completely worrying yet, but just weird. And when I would turn my eyes, it would remain the same way. Like I couldn't see the rainbow stuff in the corner of my peripherals, up and down. Every time I turned my eyes, I would just see everything straight on and perfect. Like it. Well, I was seeing the world as it is, you know. And I wasn't freaking out, but maybe 20 minutes into this, I started to think about physics, quantum physics, and how when we view things, they stand still, and how when we're not looking at things, it's a jumbled nothing. I always assumed, I don't know why, in my head canon, it was like a TV screen, like a snowy TV screen. I've talked about it many times. Like if you're not looking at something, whatever you're not looking at has no form. It's not anything. It's just, who knows? I used to see it as white snow. But I think what's happening is I was seeing what things aren't when I'm not looking at it. And they're like waves, like thick radio waves, or I don't know, radio waves. Thick waves of white, silver, but at the same time, every color. Like at once. And they're moving like this, like, you know, like a wave, you know? And I'm like, I'm probably seeing what's really there when you're not looking at it. You know, I figured that might be exactly what it was. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, and nothing else happened to me. Like I didn't have any other things go on. Like it didn't get worse. After a while, I just started ignoring it, and then it went away. Really weird, though. But for whatever reason, either I was accidentally or being allowed to see the world as it is when you're not looking at it. And the thing is, I had just done something in a video about that concept. The quantum physics concept, or theoretical physics, I guess, is what it would be, as it's a theory. But, well, it's not a theory we know it moves. I mean, it freezes. We just don't know what it looks like when it's not frozen. You know, when the particles are moving around. Like the double slit test, where they were trying to get the particle to figure out when it was moving from one slit to the other, and they couldn't, because every time they tried to measure inside each slit thing, the particle wouldn't move because it felt like it was being watched, even though it wasn't. It's fucking weird. It's like they know, or it knows. It's almost like some kind of sentience. Of course it is. It's God, right? So yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know how I made that happen. I don't know if it was just if I was being shown something for whatever reason. But yeah, had quite a few of those lately, of that type of stuff. And since I'm not sure exactly what's getting on in the videos anymore, because I've been editing so much stuff, that was one of the things I wanted to mention. I have a couple others too, weird kind of stuff like that. The second thing, or third thing, whatever number it is we're on, is this remote viewing situation. That's at least, you know, what I call it, because I'm seeing things in different locations where I'm not at. I've talked about this a couple times before, but not really in depth. This has been happening for years, and usually it's people looking at me. When I'll be in that sort of sleep awake kind of place, the place that Salvador Dali tried to remain by sitting in a chair with a spoon in his hand. So when the spoon would hit the floor, he'd wake up. He would try to stay in that place to get inspiration. And when I'm in that place, all of a sudden, out of the darkness, because I have my eyes closed, a small white light will appear, and it'll get bigger and bigger until it reveals a face. Now, the faces are people I don't know. They're usually making some kind of weird face at me, like they're trying to be scary or goofy or something. And the color is more vibrant than anything here. Like, it's like a color and a clarity that makes this place look like you're looking through a dirty screen. And they last a few seconds, and then they're gone. They kind of vanish into like almost like a cloud, you know. And the more I look at it or try to maintain the vision or hold the vision, the faster it goes away. It's frustrating, like a dream. So I'm in no control of that at all. But then sometimes I see other places. I mean, I don't mean to. I don't know. They just happen. Same kind of deal. White. Like I know when it's starting, because it'll be like this white light, like a star or something, and it starts growing and growing. And one of the startling ones that I had in recent years, probably a couple of years ago, is while sometimes I'll look in on someone or a place, and I don't know that no one, you know, I don't know if they see me or know, whatever, but in this specific time I did, they noticed me looking, and it was fucking creepy. There was a woman with a short black hair, like almost like a Bob type of scenario situation, and she looked like a soldier or an airline pilot or some kind of person working in some kind of, I don't know, air traffic control. I don't know. She looked like she had a uniform on, and she had people in front of her that were sitting down, looking like they were monitoring some kind of screen or something. And my view just went to her head. I'm just looking at her head, and I remember like saying to myself, as I do a lot of times in these situations, like, who the fuck is that? Who is that? Who is that? And all of a sudden she stopped. She looked up at me, like she had realized I was staring at her. And as soon as she looked up at me, it ended. And that fucking kind of creeped me out. That was the most kind of extreme one. Usually, like, I look one time with these remote viewing type of things. I was laying in bed, half in, half out. It was kind of earlier in the evening for me, and I was with Nia, and we were trying to figure out if we should go out and get cigarettes. And I don't know what it was, maybe a holiday, maybe it was during lockdown, whatever the case. I was like trying to figure out what places are open, or if it was too late to go to certain places. And I was thinking about the liquor store near my house that I walked by every day. In fact, I think we walked by in this video. And all of a sudden I saw the place, right? But I was coming around the corner up to where the front door of the store is, and I'm walking around the wall, you know, where all the shops are, and there's no one out there. It's dead, it's dead. And I come around the corner, and I look and I see, and it's closed. And I kind of woke or got up because it was sort of shocking. I felt like I was like looking at it, and I was, because it was 11:15 when I checked the time, and it was closed. It was gone. So so that's the only time when I kind of felt like I had some kind of control. I was thinking about the place. I went there, I saw it from my bed, and I knew it was closed, because I looked at the time after that, and it was 11:15. I don't think I've ever done anything that extreme before with the remote viewing. I've seen people, I've seen places, I've seen things. But that was like one time when I was trying to do something. In this case, figure out the store was open to buy cigarettes, and I was drifting in and out of sleep thinking about it, and I fucking went there. I went there and saw it, and I knew right away that that's what happened. Like, even after I looked at the time to confirm it was indeed closed now, I was just thinking about the whole situation. There's no one in the street, because I don't think there was at that time, and I said to myself, what a wonderful world. No, I said to myself, like, you were there. You were just there. I was looking at the place, you know? And I don't know how you know this stuff, but I would have bet my life that I was certain of it. I don't know, I mean, you just know these things, you know? Some kind of frequency thing. You know when people are lying or telling the truth sometimes. You don't know how. It's just, you're reading the frequency, man. And yeah, I went to that fucking place. Thank you, white man. Thank you for fixing the escalator. Took you about a week to get out here, but you got it done, as only we can. So another metaphysical news. I want to talk about some found information experience I had. Found information is a concept I use wherein you just you learn some new stuff from yourself. People they get this in meditation. I get it in the shower. Sometimes you just have an epiphany or an understanding about something, and you're not getting it from an outside source. It's coming from you, because you have all the answers, all these questions, and the questions themselves are written on your DNA. As I always say, much like the name of God. You know, he signs his name, YWHA. So I was sitting in bed, and I don't think I've woken you up. She was like kind of half sleeping. Excuse me. And I'm like, holy shit, hon. She's like, what? I'm like, I think I figured out what the purgatory is. She's like, what? I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I just had it just came to me because I had picked up a piece of information that I just lined up with this other piece. I do this kind of stuff. I always get the board in my head, you know. And earlier that day, I'd been watching a video about the concept, which is another quantum physics or theoretical physics concept, which says that upon the time of death, you just move to another body, another version of you that's in another dimensional space, whatever you want to call it, another frequency that's here as well, but it's vibrating at a different rate, so you can't see it. you move to your body in that one. So you never kind of really died. And they were talking about some examples of like a woman who was driving her kid around the car, and she got this weird burst of adrenaline, like, oh, what? And then her kid from the back seat said, Mama's car go boom. And she's like, what? She said, Mama's car go boom. Like telling her she hit something, you know, or there was an accident. So the thought is, the idea was that something had happened to her, or there was an accident, and she just like, there's a glitch, or it just didn't happen. So what they're saying basically is, I mean, we know we never die because we're energy. Energy can't be destroyed. You're the electromagnetic energy that powers this fucking meat suit. And like if you hurt yourself, right? If I stub my toe, oh, hold on a second. Okay. The electromagnetic energy from my toe runs up to my brain and says, this guy just hurt his toe, right? So the brain then goes, okay, take this signal back of pain so then the toe will hurt. This is going on inside your body. This is you. You're not an organism. If you were, it would just be instantaneous. It's not instantaneous. It happens in a fraction of a second, but it's still happening. Your signal is zooting around inside what is essentially an antenna, a meat antenna. So I was always trying to figure out people that we lose here that die. I know they can't move on because we all have to go at once. Because we're all one thing, right? We're just split up fragments of our consciousness in these different people that do have divinity. This is the guy from the other day. He got scared because he wasn't paying attention to me. He just fucking, is it? I think it is, yeah. Yeah, he's actually doing something. Most of the time they're not, though. They're just blowing fucking air. But, so, I was always wondering how that happens, you know? Or where the fragments of the souls go. Because we're not moving on to our home origin point, because we all have to go together as we're all one thing. And then that idea kind of married with the idea of the moving from one version of you to another. And I was like, that's the purgatory. You're just going to keep moving to different bodies until the actual judgment happens, when you can leave out of here, or when we get ourselves out of here, which I think is going to be more the case. And then we all go. You know, we all go together. But until that happens, we're kind of stuck here. And I always felt like, what is it, like some kind of weird purgatory? And then I came upon the idea, like, well, there's only time here. Time only exists here, in this 3D realm. And it exists so that you can grow, you can change, you can learn things. There needs to be a timeline so that you can experience stuff, because this ultimately is a place for learning, or that was his original intention. Now it's a fucking farm, but at the point, you know, it used to be like that. So I was thinking, well, maybe since there's no time anywhere, at the second of death, you just don't go anywhere, and then when you do finally go somewhere, it will seem like no time has passed because there's no time out there. But I'm coming around more to the idea that what's happening is you just move to another version of yourself, which raises a lot of fucking interesting questions to me. Like, if you keep dying, well, that's the thing. It's like, how many times one usually only dies once in life? Because I'm thinking, like, what if you keep moving around? You go into the 108-year-old version of yourself, but no one has that many fucking, you know, no one dies that many times, you know? I don't know. It invites a lot of questions, but it also, going back to that feeling where you just know something is right, I feel like this is the closest. Those other ideas I had about the purgatory concepts or the time concepts, they never felt right. They never hit me right. This kind of hits me right. This kind of feels like, it feels like this, or at least closer than the other ones did. I think that about covers the metaphysical science theory and philosophy roundup for today. Yeah. I feel like there's something else though. I guess I'll save it for the next time, I guess. Thanks you guys for, sorry I called you guys. Thanks for dropping in. Until next I see ya, which is hopefully soon. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.